Hey everybody, this is Emar Substitute Sports Inquirer, and we're joined by Georgia Tech volleyball player Paola Pimentel. Paola, thank you for joining us. And how has the season been going so far for the Yellow Jackets as you progress through the ACC season?
And we had a pretty hard preseason, but we definitely learned from that. All the games that we played, each one of them, we worked on our team, like our weaknesses. And now I believe that we're ready for the bigger challenges that we are going to face.
What were some of those lessons that you learned from the competitive non-conference schedule, and then even this past weekend playing a team like Louisville?
Yeah, so definitely like every team's going to play us like their best game ever. So we got to be ready for those situations where we're not going to be we're going to be challenged. We got to have to step out of our comfort zone, and that's something we've been working on, and we just got to be ready for those situations.
Yeah, as a defensive player and the leader of the unit as the libero, how do you pronounce it, by the way? What's your take on it?
Libero, yeah.
Libero. I say libero too, but anyway. But as the libero, what about the other teams and how they're approaching you, attacking your defense? Because I was noticing even in the Louisville contest, it seemed like your wings are being attacked a lot more, maybe earlier in the season or even in the past. Is that something you've noticed being out
Yeah,
there?
yeah, no, definitely. There's always going to be someone that is going to be target, and it's either going to be one of us three, the passers, our our passer line. So we just got to be ready for that. Either me or Bianca or Julia. We never know like who's going to be the person. And in the Louisville game, they were coming after me. That's the strategy, I believe so. And it has to do with like a lot of things. Like we can get the set like far from Bella, so then it's harder to set the outside, and maybe getting us like out of system the whole time. So, but yeah, I definitely noticed that.
Yeah, and how do you handle that? How do you make that adjustment in the middle of the match, or have you had situations where you thought a team was going to approach you one way, and maybe through the first few games, even through a first set, you're seeing that's going to be a little bit different than you expected?
Yeah, and once the game starts, it's completely different than everything we could imagine. So we just got to be ready for everything. But especially in the Louisville game, like since the very first point, they were they came after me either position one or position six. I could have handled myself better, but I just gotta learn from that and be ready for the next game.
And this is your second year with the Yellow Jackets program. How has it been now? You came in from junior college, so you came in as an upperclassman. But how has this year been just different than when you were just starting with the program last year?
Yeah, it's definitely different. And I felt as a freshman when I first came last year, because even though I was an upperclassman already, and it was my first year, first like new team, new coaches, like new staff. So I had to adapt very quick. I didn't have the spring or summer to adjust that and didn't have that time. So it was very quick for me. But this year, I'm way more prepared. We already have the connection with the team. I feel way more confident, way more comfortable with my teammates, and we're expecting even a better season than last year.
You touched on it earlier. You're going to get everyone's best shot or best effort. How has the team handled that? Because it seemed like last year, a little bit unknown on a national stage, but you made your big run in NCAA tournament. You came in preseason top 10. You've kind of maintained that level. How has the team handled those higher expectations and extra pressure of being nationally ranked at a high level?
Yeah, we know that there's always going to be a pressure. Like once we made it to the Elite Eight last year, everybody was expecting big things from us, like this next season. But and everybody just gotta have the right mindset. Be like we know that we are a great team. We're just gonna maintain that. It's hard. It's easier to like get there, but it's harder to maintain. So I feel like we just gotta have our minds right and have our feet placed in the right place and just make the effort. And every single game matters. It's not only like when it comes to the tournament or the big game. So every single game matters.
Yeah, and now this weekend you have Virginia on Friday, and then you play Pittsburgh on Sunday, a team that you're both top 10 ranked. How is the team getting prepared for this competition, especially facing Pittsburgh, a team that you've had some really good battles with over the past few years?
Yeah, it's a traditional game kind of because last year we beat them when we were away and then we lost at home. So I feel like we're all like very excited for this game, especially because we're gonna play McCamish for the first time, which is a basketball gym. But we have UVA first, so our mindsets right now are all at UVA on Friday, and then we're gonna go from there. After that, then we got to start thinking about our Sunday game.
Yeah, and you mentioned that on Sunday you're playing Virginia, no, you're playing Pittsburgh at the McCamish, the basketball arena. How's that adjustment for you? As far you played so many different arenas, but it's your first time playing on that court. I saw the picture today that you put online, I guess, of the court. How's that been for you, especially you being the libero with the sight lines and just the angles? How are you getting ready for the match?
Yeah, it's very hard because it looks like we're playing away because we've never played in that gym before. It's definitely way bigger than our own gym. So O'Keefe is a very, uh, I don't know, it's not like it's small enough, but it makes you feel like comfortable. I don't know, like when you play in McCamish, it's just like a bigger environment. There's gonna be tons, like a lot of people there. So definitely the lights are gonna, like we need to adjust our eyes to the lights, like the court like it's bigger, so the lines are gonna, it's all different. So I think we practiced there this week, so we're just getting ready for that.
Yeah, and do you prefer being in the bigger arenas, or do you outside of O'Keefe? I know that's your really home base, but watching the matches around the country, you see some people play like in the basketball arenas, and then some play in kind of the auxiliary gyms, kind of more like O'Keefe. Do you have a preference as far as the type of gyms you like to play in?
I definitely like to play at O'Keefe a lot, so because I'm already got used to that. So the smaller gyms makes us feel like home kind of. But the big gyms like just give us like more space to run, like go for after the balls. So that's another good point. But it also depends on the light, depends on the floor. It makes a big difference too. So it's not only if it's a basketball arena or not, but I don't really, for me it's the same.
In the big gyms, you don't have to worry about playing balls off the roof, I guess, as well. Is that a legitimate thing? Do you
Yeah.
actually work? Do you work on that in practice at some point where someone hits a ball up there and kind of sees like the angle because it's a live ball in most arenas. How do you prepare for that at all?
No, we don't practice that specifically, but we just gotta be ready for this when it happens. I feel like sometimes in practice we're trying to control the ball and hold it on like on our side the whole time, but sometimes it gets out of control and then it might go like too high, and then when the ball touches the roof, it just goes to a completely different place. But and so it's like we just gotta run and just try to get the touch because it's hard because it changes the direction a lot. So it's not even like something that could be practiced. It's just something that when it happens, you just gotta have your body there and be ready to get the touch and then try to have someone next to you to send the ball over.
All right. Well, we appreciate the time, Paola. Thank you for speaking with us, and good luck the rest of the season. Maybe we'll catch up later on.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.